The night was alive with the pulse of the wild, a symphony of rustling leaves, distant howls, and the rhythmic thud of ceremonial drums. The full moon hung low over the sprawling clearing, its silver light bathing the gathered wolves of the Crescent Pack in an ethereal glow. Torches flickered along the perimeter, their flames casting long, wavering shadows that danced across the faces of the pack members, each one taut with anticipation. The air was heavy with the scent of pine, earth, and something more primal, an undercurrent of desire and dominance that marked the mating ceremony. For most, this night was a sacred rite, a chance to forge bonds that would strengthen the pack. For Elara, it was a cage closing around her. Elara stood at the edge of the clearing, her crimson cloak pulled tight around her slender frame, the hood obscuring her face from the prying eyes of the pack. At 22, she was no ordinary she-wolf. Her silver hair, a rare trait inherited from her lunar bloodline, shimmered faintly even in the dim light, and her green eyes held a sharpness that could cut through deception. She was a vision, a prize coveted by every unmated male in the pack, from the lowliest warrior to the highest nobles. But it was the one who coveted her most that made her heart pound with dread, Alpha King Theron, the iron-fisted ruler of the northern packs, whose reputation for ruthlessness was whispered in every corner of the territory. Tonight, under the moon's unyielding gaze, he would claim his mate, and Elara knew his dark, predatory eyes had settled on her. She shifted her weight, her boots sinking slightly into the soft earth as she scanned the crowd. The pack was a sea of faces, some eager, some nervous, all caught in the fervor of the ceremony. Females stood in clusters, their laughter tinged with anxiety as they awaited their turn to choose or be chosen. Males prowled the edges, their postures tense, their eyes glinting with the instinct to dominate. The mating ceremony was a tradition as old as the pack itself, its rules etched into the collective memory of the wolves. An unmated female could select her mate by offering a kiss under the moonlight, a sacred act that sealed the bond before the pack and the moon goddess. But if she refused to choose, the alpha would decide her fate. For Elara, that meant Theron. She'd seen the way he watched her during the feast earlier that evening, his gaze heavy with possession, his lips curling into a smile that promised control rather than affection. She would rather die than be bound to him. Her fingers tightened around the edge of her cloak, the fabric rough against her skin. She had to act, and she had to act now. The drums were growing louder, their rhythm quickening like a heartbeat, signaling that the choosing was about to begin. Elara's mind raced, sifting through possibilities. She could run, but the pack's trackers would find her before dawn. She could fight, but even her skill with a blade wouldn't.